Alright, what's up everybody? How's everybody doing today? Should be a quick video. I'm not sure how long it'll take, but I've got three little topics to talk about today, which shouldn't take too long. The first one is actually the guns that are confirmed in World War II, and the second one is, I'm not sure whether you'd call it multiplayer or campaign or maybe both, but I know for sure that they said in campaign they're not going to have health regen. So some of the news on that, and on zombies we're going to have some news on that too. So on the first thing we're doing the weapons confirmed for Call of Duty World War II. And I use this website. I've been using this website called pvplive.net. It's a pretty good website, really. I like it. It's pretty accurate from what I can tell from the things I've seen so far. And I would assume that you've already seen the things about the weapons because it says it's been out for a month. And so I'm assuming a lot of people have seen it. But if not, that's good. I'm going to get into it right now. Which, again, if you've seen it, don't worry. I mean, it's just news that we'll cover and we'll get right into the next subject real soon. The first gun they say is going to be confirmed is the Thompson submachine gun, which is otherwise known as, of course, the Tommy. And it says the Thompson was first seen after the initial reveal announcement as Activision changed their Call of Duty login page. Call of Duty's Tommy gun is an infamous edition in every version it's been featured in. Which, yeah, that's true if you've seen like Advanced Warfare or if you've seen any games that have included the Tommy. The next one is the Kar98K, which is of course a classic from the World War. As an effective German bolt-action rifle, no World War II game feels complete without it. The Kar98K was just shown for a second in the trailer, but was shown in greater detail during the behind-the-scenes footage. I do remember playing with this actually in World at War. I personally didn't really like it because it was kind of like I think it had like 5 bullets each chamber. I don't know. I didn't really like it that much. It seemed to be, I think it was a single shot, I think. I can't really remember. It's been a little while since I've played World at War. The next one, I do remember this from World at War, the M1918 bar. Otherwise, of course, everybody would always call it the bar. The next one is the M1 bazooka. Shown in development footage of COD World War II, the bazooka should come as no surprise. Which, yeah, if I'm correct, I think they had something, I think they had either the bazooka, like the M1 bazooka in World at War, or they had the Panzer, whatever it was called. So, I do remember that, and that was quite annoying. The next one is the M1 Garand. Of course, you can't make a game, a Call of Duty game that's in the past without the M1 Garand. Even if you think about it, even Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3, these recent games have even made them supply drop weapons, or what you'd call in Black Ops 3 like a black market weapon. They've had them in like all the recent games. It says of all the World War II weapons, the M1 Garand is a unique and surprisingly fitting for shooters. Hearing the M1's ping when emptied is personally extremely satisfying. Which is true, of course, when you unload the gun or when you reload it, it makes a nice ting noise, and almost every Call of Duty player loves that noise. The next one is the MG42, and it says we may see this weapon available in the multiplayer, though it may only be available as a terrain fixed edition on some maps. So this gun is probably one of those guns that you see mounted on the balconies and stuff, or whatever you know, on the little walls and stuff where it says you can use this gun. I'm glad that they're adding that back because those are kind of fun to use during the campaign, and they're kind of fun sometimes to use in multiplayer. The next one is the M1903 Springfield, which I do remember using this. I do remember sniping in World at War, and it was pretty fun. It says, when playing as a sniper in Call of Duty World War II, you should expect to unlock the M1903 Springfield at some point. The Springfield rivals the Kar98K in appearances in video games. Which is true. 98K and the Springfield were also, like, they were both the snipers. They were two main snipers in the game of World at War. But my favorite sniper in World at War was probably the PTS, or how did you say that? It was the anti-tank gun. I remember that. It was the one with the ting noise whenever you got a kill, like the little pop noise. It was really good. The next one, and I think it's the last one here, is the Grease gun. It says officially named the M3. This gun uses 45 caliber rounds just like the Thompson. The Grease gun was cheaper to produce and lighter, but not as accurate. And see, this text down here says, not all these weapons will be available in the Call of Duty World War II's multiplayer, though everything should be included in the single player campaign. See, my opinion on this is that I really do like all the guns they've said, which I also think that there's going to be the Browning, that big LMG, which of course I do love all these guns. And I mean, my personal favorite kind of game is probably something like Black Ops 1, kind of in the, not like modern times, but not like way far back. But I do like World at War games such as, you know, like, yeah, World at War, and I'm starting to really like this game the more that I start looking more into it. My next topic I'm going to be talking about is the Call of Duty World War II featuring no health regeneration.
I'm using the website onlysp.com. I really actually like this website also.
I've seen this one after looking at pvplive.net.
So this topic right here actually is talking about how
in the campaign it may not have the health regen, and I'm saying this is campaign slash multiplayer news, but it may not have any health regeneration, which that means you may have to pick up health packs just like the original Call of Duty that came out years ago.
See, the text here says, according to Polygon, the single player campaign of Activision and Sledgehammer's games Call of Duty World War II will not feature automatic health regeneration. And so that, what I'm thinking in my head is, I'm thinking they're probably going to have it to where you pick up med packs or something like you used to do on the PS2 version of Call of Duty. The next section says, not since the first Call of Duty in 2003 has the franchise not included a health regeneration system. Which, yeah, that's true. In the next game, players had to pick up medkits if they wanted to replenish their health. Which, that is true, yeah, that's completely true. And it says, according to Glenn Schofield, co-founder of Sledgehammer Games, in an interview with Polygon, he says, you won't have to worry, or you will have to worry about every bullet, which that's kind of good because I like the realistic aspect that they're putting towards the game. I really actually like that because, see, as he says in his next quote here, he says, you're not the superhero, you can't just stand there taking 7 bullets, ducking and shooting again, which that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense. I don't really like that. I've always kind of wondered, like, is there a game that's ever going to come out again where you have to pick up med packs or anything like that? A lot of people won't like this though because they love the feeling of the rush of where you can like get a bunch of kills and go behind a building real quick and replenish your health with regenerating health and then coming right back out and starting shooting again. And that's how you get your high kill streaks, and that's how a lot of people have done it. But I like it how now you're going to have to take the thing super slow. It's going to be super realistic, and I'm assuming that there's going to be health packs around the map, or maybe there's going to be people that can select maybe a med class or something. And so maybe there could be healers in the game, medics, whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of, in a way, that's kind of good. I kind of like that. But at the same time, a lot of people are not going to like this just because I know that, you know, like I said earlier, there's people that want to boost jump and stuff in these recent Call of Duties and not have to worry about picking up med packs and doing all kinds of stuff like that. I know that. But with this new situation here, I feel like a lot of people are going to turn away from World War II. I'm hoping not, because this is kind of good. I mean, people haven't seen this in a while. Why not just give it a try, you know? That's my own opinion. Which actually comes to my second part of my multiplayer news. It says on pvplive.net again, it says Call of Duty World War II slows down multiplayer and features map not seen in the campaign. What we're really focusing on is the multiplayer part. It says Call of Duty World War II's full multiplayer reveal is happening next week at E3, but before Sledgehammer Games dishes out all the details, co-founder Michael Condrey shares a little more insight in an interview with Edge magazine. In it, he says that there's a new aim for World War II's multiplayer now that there's no more jetpacks and wall running. And so basically he starts talking about how it's still fast-paced, and there's all kinds of things like that, just no boost and thrust abilities, which that's okay. That's not what you're wanting in a World War II game, of course, so that's why I'm glad that they have the opportunity to do this. So basically he says it's still fast action, still fast pace, but there's no more boost and thrust because it's World War II, which is understandable. That's really good. It says that Sledgehammer stated before that they're trying to push to make World War II's multiplayer focus more on teamwork and strategy. And they're not trying to kill the quick action the series is known for, that's what it says. The running and gunning has always been a place in Call of Duty regardless of the exclusion of double jumps and power slides, which is completely true. Call of Duty's always been really fast, even Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 when they were still just running in boots and stuff. He says you can imagine trying to find a balance where it feels strategic and appropriate to the time period, while still maintaining the fun of multiplayer. It's more grounded and more strategic, and I think you'll find it's not as fast. Which, it doesn't have to be super fast, because Black Ops 3 actually was like super fast, and it's like, I don't know, I don't like it because it's like they fly above your head, they do all these like jumps and stuff, and it's so hard to keep your aim on them, which I'm not saying that it has to be super easy and just the game has to be given to you, but I'd rather not have to aim sky high in the air to kill one person and then have another dude running towards you with boots on the ground trying to just nail you down. And then the next part says, even if the pace of the game remains quick, your movement options are more limited than the recent COD titles. Which what they mean by that is there's no boost jumping in the next Call of Duty, which of course everybody knows that. Of course everybody knows that. But that's what that part means. And then it says if you've gotten used to the new movement abilities, you may have a slight transitional period to get back to the basic grounded combat.
That's what I was trying to say in the last video on why I think that people shouldn't be worrying so much about this whole movement system. Then it says even Sledgehammer had to readjust to the change, which I find completely understandable because the past 3 Call of Duties have been just boost jumping and stuff, and that's not too terrible, but I personally am not like a fan of the whole jetpacks thing, so I'm pretty open to having this game come out this year. Then Michael Condrey said in this next part, we spent a lot of time on map design and there's a lot of fundamental rules about sight lines and engagements, but it's transformational when you no longer have to worry about an unseen threat from the sky, which what he's trying to say by that is what I just said a minute ago about people boost jumping over your head, which is very, very good that they're taking care of this whole entire situation by just taking the jetpacks right out of the game. I'm very happy about that. And then the next part, of course, says, so far the direction and concepts of World War II is well received, though we haven't received all the information about its multiplayer yet, including where the developers will take us map-wise. In general, it's an obvious guess to say that Sledgehammer will adapt maps and environments found in World War II single player, but they've shared the maps that are not tied to the campaign. And what they're trying to say by that, of course, is most Call of Duties do have maps that are from the campaign, which that's what Sledgehammer is also going to do, but it says that there's also going to be multiplayer maps that aren't in the campaign, and I'm assuming there's going to be parts of campaign that are not in multiplayer also. That's pretty much that part of the multiplayer and campaign that I've recently found out about in the past few days, about how the whole regeneration thing and the map design and stuff. I'm really liking that. I've seen an article on PvPlive.net that was talking about how Sledgehammer actually feels kind of glad that they can bring Call of Duty back to its roots, which I'm very glad about, and I'm really excited for this whole entire game to come out. And again, like I said before, I will be updating, and I'm going to be playing this game along the way of this channel growth. Every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will try to get an upload out, and if I miss a day, I'm really sorry. But I'm still working on it, and I know that right now I'm doing pretty good with the consistency. So the next part is Call of Duty World War II Zombie Mode is based on real events and may feature heightened horror themes. And so I'm assuming what it means by real events is like real places, because I heard about this the other day and apparently it's talking about like real places or something like that. They took like a trip to England and were looking around, and so I guess they got a good idea on real places that this could be really based off of. It says it's no secret Sledgehammer Games is featuring Treyarch's Nazi Zombies and Call of Duty World War II, but the title's version will feature something a little different. In previous leaks, we've seen that World War II's co-op game mode, which was later on revealed as a Zombies edition, unleashes a new and original story, instead of one-off scenarios and surface level or survival. Sledgehammer Games is introducing a storyline in World War II Nazi Zombies, which that's actually super exciting because I do love story modes to anything. Like I love just a lore to read about or just something to find out about like by yourself. It's really exciting. Especially zombies. I kind of like the Black Ops lore about the zombies. I kind of like the whole entire story about it. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's a little confusing, but of course it's kind of cool. And what I meant by they're taking trips, see this part here says, after the Sledgehammer team took a research trip to Europe to obtain first-hand knowledge on the setting and atmosphere for Call of Duty World War II single player and multiplayer game modes, it also helped them formulate the new Zombies mode. In his interview with Edge Magazine, the co-founder continued to say that the team is drawing from reality, and it says, there's some really authentic stuff in there, Schofield said. There's backstory that's based on real events. Which I kind of like. I love how they've found real information from England and places that they went to for this game to actually make Zombies mode, like a good Zombies mode and a good story, hopefully. I'm very glad about that. So it says World War II developers aim to twist the game mode further. There are scary and adrenaline pumping moments already in Nazi Zombies, but the usual player puts themselves into the predicament, not the game itself. Instead, co-founder Michael Condrey and Schofield, who both led work on the original Dead Space, they both actually, I did find that out, they both actually were working on Dead Space, and it was like, apparently it says in this article that it says it was one of the best horror titles. It says that Michael Condrey and Schofield worked on Dead Space, and then it says, while that doesn't mean it's going to take a hard sci-fi route, Condrey shared that World War II's Nazi Zombies will possess a feeling unique to our Dead Space signature. To give context to you if you haven't played Dead Space, it's regarded as one of the best horror titles of all time. Apparently that is true. I've actually heard about Dead Space, I've never played it, but apparently people say it's like a really scary game. Not like a super scary game, but it's like a good horror title, so I like that they're going to be working on zombies to make it really exciting to play and more adrenaline pumping than usual.
Well, that's basically the information that I have today. And so if you like this World War II information and videos that I'm going to be starting to do here soon, then like, comment, and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys later.
Good job,